Joining me now, Senator John Husted is a Republican of Ohio. Senator, what a pleasure.
Great to be back with you.
Yes, great to have you. So you made a little stop in Columbus, Ohio to look at some housing issues.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a big issue everywhere in the country. People need access to housing, affordable housing. And so we had Scott Turner, the HUD secretary in Ohio, and we gave him a little tour of some of the innovative things that are happening there. We went to Vista Village, which is a place that has what they call tiny houses, but in Columbus, Ohio, they're tiny, but in Washington, D.C., they would be normal size
Standard,
places, right?
Standard,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, standard, exactly. And these are individual houses where people who are maybe aging out of foster care, coming out of incarceration, maybe single parents trying to get a start in life, you go there, and it's a private-public partnership, philanthropic money, public money in it, and helps them gain life skills, only charges them $350 a month for rent, gets them started in life, helps them settle in, and then saves some money so that they can go out and live an independent lifestyle. And it's these are the kinds of visits we did, seeing the innovative things that are going on.
That's great. So do the good people of Columbus regard this as a successful program?
They do. It's really been bought into by the city, the state, the local philanthropic community, and they want to expand this and build it in another neighborhood. It's literally a gated community. Because why? Because they want to keep the crime out. They want to keep these neighborhoods safe, and so it's a wonderful place. And people are buying in. And then we have a really innovative business in Columbus called Connect Housing Blocks, and they manufacture. They turn the construction process into a manufacture process, and they can build. I visited a 5-story apartment complex. They build it in half the time. Usually takes 2 years to build it. They can build this in 1 year. It is high quality, wonderful facility, but it takes anywhere from 20 to 50% out of the construction cost of doing this, so that lowers the price point for more affordable housing. We think this is going to be a great Ohio export because we're going to help them find ways to do this across the country, and it's really working well in Columbus.
Wow, that's I know that a lot of mayors and governors are really wrestling with this issue of housing and trying to figure out what is the best solution.
Well, as I'm sure you know, Julie, that local regulations can stand in the way. So it's the NIMBY stuff. We got to set that aside. You have to be able to build housing with the level of density that you need to make it affordable. But you can also, by showing this, you can see that even though these are, in some of these cases, they're higher density, they're still high quality. You can do both. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. And you're seeing a lot of this happen in opportunity zones. Mm-hmm. Opportunity zones eliminate the capital gains tax for the tax liability for investments. And so now you have these high poverty zip codes, some of the highest poverty zip codes in the state and the country, where you can attract private capital. You could never attract private capital if you didn't provide that advantage, but now they're investing and building housing in these areas in places that they would never make this kind of investment in the past. So there's some good things happening out there in the country. It's just we need more and we need to do it faster.
I really like the idea of public-private partnership on some of these issues, particularly homelessness and housing.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you can attract I've always said this as a public official, if it's 100% government money, how do I know if it's really a good thing? But if I can convince people in the private or philanthropic sector to put their skin in the game with it, it's usually a pretty good measure of whether or not it's a good investment. Because if people who are discerning investors, discerning philanthropists, they will know what works, and then you can know as a public official. It's like, okay, it makes sense. We're gonna have a partnership on this, and those cases usually work out best.
Senator, you're also active on the issue of Americans' retirement, which I know is a big worry for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a big fan of ESOPs, and those are employee-owned companies, right? Because I see this happen across my state where you have a lot of family-owned businesses, and the person who started it, maybe it's first, second, third generation, the next generation doesn't want to stay on and run the business, so they decide they want to sell it, and then private equity firms come in, scoop it up, and then they don't really care about the employees or the communities the way that the family did. Mm-hmm. Well, if you we need to improve the rules at the federal level, give some rules together to allow owners of these companies to sell it to their employees. If anybody knows an ESOPs out there, this is I love this because it's like the people who start the business can turn it over to the employees. The employees have a stake in making sure that it's run effectively. Why? Because it's not just their job, but it's also their retirement, and then they get the benefit of the growth in the company, and these work out very, very well. But right now, the federal rules are unclear about how to do this. We're just going to clear those up, and I think you're going to see more of that kind of thing, so that we have more businesses that care about their employees. It helps with the retirement, helps with those communities, and that's the kind of thing that I think is virtuous capitalism that we need more of in this country.
And it would seem to me, Senator, that it fills a gap for people who maybe don't have a 401k at work or other means.
Yeah, well, you can do both in those ESOP situations, but what I love about it is I've just seen it's because I've witnessed it. It's like this is not like my idea. I see it out there happening where you have companies that come in and get bought out by private equity firms who are not close to the community. There's no one that lives there, and they just don't care like the family-owned company, like the employees who work there. And this is just a fantastic way of turning over ownership so that the owner of the company gets, sells the company and can get the resources that they've built up over time, but the employees also get to share in the outcome of that. And I think it's look, it's something that Bernie Sanders and I agree on. So there you go. That's a big deal.
Wow. All right. I'm going to mark this day on my calendar. Before I have to let you go, Senator, an unpleasant subject. We're talking about government shutdown again. What are you hearing?
Well, right now, I don't think anyone is panicking on that front. I think that what the plan in the Senate is to essentially keep passing appropriations bills and run the government like it's supposed to be run. Do it on a bipartisan basis, get these bills passed, fund the government, and let's move on. Now, whether we'll have the votes in the end to do that, I don't know, but that's the plan. We're continuing to move forward. We've already passed some of those appropriations bills before we left for the August work period, and now that we're back, we're going to continue to pass them, and hopefully we'll have some bipartisan support. There's no reason to shut the government down. We need to do our jobs. We need to keep things moving and show the American people that on a bipartisan basis we can solve their problems and work together.
Senator John Husted is a Republican of Ohio. Thank you so much for joining me.
Great to be with you, Julie.
Great to chat. Take care.